Unique New York. Unique New York. Hey nerds. I hope everybody's having a lovely day today. I didn't sleep last night. Or I slept, but I only slept for like 3 hours. So I'm not feeling fantastic. But I'm feeling fine. Just not fantastic. That's what it does. But I'm interested in the story while it has to do with taxes. And I'm not personally a huge fan of paying bullshit taxes. I do think we should pay our taxes. Who knew when you break the laws of physics that you have to pay a bonus tax? I just hydrated, but I'll do it again just for you. Hi, Greed. Are you satiated? Water does feel good. I feel pretty good. Okay, I can clearly see that you're both accusing me of letting the sinners run wild again, but we had our reasons. We have reached an agreement. And you explained things to them, right? Please tell me that the agreement doesn't involve us collectively dangling from that stupid gallows. 10 billion on is certainly an absurd amount of money, but that does not change the fact that we are still responsible for it. We did benefit from the extra time it granted us, and its use was something that wasn't mutually agreed upon before our unilateral activation. Because it was an unexpected event, no countermeasures could be put in place either. Yeah, but we didn't exactly have a whole lot of time to debate whether I was allowed to slow down time or not. We really had to think on our feet back then. I felt a bit miffed about being treated as though I was somehow at fault for this. If you plan to sacrifice one of us to settle the debt, I request that you evaluate our worth based on individual merit. I have prepared performance evaluation sheets for each sinner precisely for one such occasion. On the last pages of those evaluation sheets are extra opinions that I do not plan on leaving any of you behind to take the fall for the group. Besides, 10 billion on isn't the kind of money that you can settle with a sacrifice of one individual. But we did eventually find a reasonable compromise. While you were wasting your time horsing around in front of the gallows. And that compromise is? Are you pants grabbing me right now? This steak. Oh, okay. Sorry. My reaction is line by line. I can't help it. Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying the steak you made. And that compromise is? We have been contracted to deal with a distortion. Huh. I guess we're really starting to put our names out there if they specifically sought us out to deal with this distortion. They have sought out other fixers and companies to deal with this issue first. We were their 6th choice, after the first 5 failed to produce a meaningful result. Gotcha. Well, the stories are starting to circulate via word of mouth. I will not deny that. So what kind of distortion are we dealing with this time? This is a request regarding a series of similar, unsolved cases within T-Corp's borders. Some call it the case of time-killing time. Several people have already fallen victim to the perpetrator. The case of time-killing time? It is exactly what it says on the tin. A distortion is running wild, killing our time. Time is an asset here at T-Corp. It's not so difficult for us to track down the occasional time robberies by tracing them. But in the case of the time-killing time, the killer does not leave any traces. It's simply gone, completely removed, and untraceable. No such thing has ever happened here before. Thus, the significance of this case cannot be emphasized enough. That is why we formally request that you solve this case for us. In return, we will exempt you from your time tax debt. Ho ho, thus arriveth once again my time to shine. According to a book I have perused in recent days, any and all detectives working to solve cases of urban nightmare beyond are issued this special investigator badge during the course of their employment. 'Tis a badge that may as well be a universal pass to command all kinds of aid regarding the detectives? Fixers! We plan to issue those badges, yes. Wahoo! Much have I longed to add one such badge to my collection. Perchance thou shalt allow us to keep the badges once this case is dealt with. Nay, I demand that I be awarded at least 3 badges, one for my private collection, one for display, and one for business, so that... Shut it, lass. Right, what are we waiting for? Let's crack on. Wet this distortion and get the hell out of here. I hate dealing with money problems. Same. I value your enthusiasm, but I would also appreciate it if you could allow others to finish their sentences before cutting them off and going on a long tangent of your own. The problem is that they don't want all 13 of you running amok in an effort to solve the case. Indeed. I can't have your entire group run wild in the streets and potentially waste the precious time of our residents. Also, the Special Investigator badge isn't something that T-Corp hands out like candy. We can't give away a whole box of badges for all 13 of them. I concur to a degree. Otis, who has continuously and consistently suggested that we cut down the number of sinners, was the first one to welcome this offer. We should have done something like this a long time ago. What use is there in hauling around these dead weights? We will leave the useless pawns behind to wait in the bus while we elite team of high-performing individuals take care of the business. It's time for the case of time killing. I think this is gonna be, if they ham it up, if they go like, because they've got the black and white, almost black and white detective kind of like hard-boiled vibe going on, the Dick Tracy vibes. I hope they lean into it, because it's a genre that I'm partial to. You seem rather confident that you'd be a part of that elite team of high-performing individuals, Otis. Otis is an elite high-performing individual. John Blacksad's on the case. Get his ass beat again. Oh my god, that scene where the horse and the anteater beat the shit out of him. Good stuff, good stuff. Or are you talking about the other like 16 times that he gets the shit beaten out of him? You seem rather... Oh, sorry. It's ridiculous to even suggest otherwise. I agree with Otis there. All right. Enough with your nonsense. So, how many of us are allowed to work on this case anyway? Virgilius trailed off, clearly unhappy about this outcome. They have decided that 4 individuals, including the manager, is an appropriate amount of people allowed to partake in this investigation. That's not a lot. Accept it. We barely managed to get the authorization for 4 after much debate. That one that caught me off guard was the funniest. We left into the alleyway and just got jumped immediately. Yeah. I mean, the guy pulled out a gun and he was gonna shoot us in the back of the head too. It's funny because like I think in Blacksad they had like 5 different events where you just got the shit beaten out of you, and I think there's an achievement for each event. It's like get the crap beaten out of you again, or get the crap beaten out of you for the 5th time. It's crazy. Poor John. You know what? He was doing his best that whole time. He was a good boy, recovering alcoholic, dealing with the loss of his loved one, and by God, he did his best, but fate just had it out for him. What the hell is going on today? Or what is going on today? Then you have wasted your breath. A tag team of the executive manager and I will be more than enough to handedly complete this mission. Right. So it all comes down to my choice, huh? 3 sinners. So many eyes upon me. Now that I've never had them all look at me at the same time like this before, but the pressure is on a completely different level when it comes to making judgment calls like these. Looks like the manager is deep in thought, but pointlessly agonizing over something like this is a waste of time. I'm taking volunteers first, so let's see some hands. Quickly now. Forsooth, I shan't hesitate before such excellent opportunity. I was going to take, actually, Don Quixote, Heathcliff, and Otis was my original choice. Maybe it's finally my time to shine? Oh, you don't even need to ask me, alright? Let's get on with it. Oh, nah, that wasn't. I'm not raising my hand, I'm just cleaning my glasses. This is no simple matter. I've not been with so few sinners before, except for that one time when we accidentally walked out to the outskirts through the back door, so I have to take this slow and really consider all possible angles. What a mess. It would be too much trouble for me to list and debate all the arbitrary limitations they set, so allow me to make the choices for you this time, Dante. Well, I don't think there's too big of a gap between them when it comes to their capabilities, but they all excel in different situations. Dante, are you listening? I just said that I will be the one to choose your companions. No, I need to consider more than just their individual capabilities. Some of them work better when paired together, but it's also true that haphazardly pairing them together might end up making a team that's less than the sum of its parts. This is all about building team synergy. Wait, didn't Rhodia say something about how people born in December and August don't mesh well together? And the sinners who will accompany Dante to solve this case are... I have to choose someone who can support me, calmly assess the situation, and remain free from biased judgment while making smart, rational decisions on the fly. It sounds like Ishmael. The sinners who fit that description are... Do we even have anyone like that? I still have to choose someone, though. Damn it, I've got it. I choose Faust, Merceau, and Yiseng. What? Rodian, Ryoshu, and Honglu. Huh? Wait, huh? Dante selected Bieber, so add Yiseng. Haven't you been listening, Dante? I have certain things to discuss with Miss Faust regarding our upcoming journey, so she was not an option. Yiseng was immediately ruled out even before the meeting adjourned due to the history of developing an unauthorized invention at T-Corp. Merceau did not volunteer. There was no reason to volunteer. Though I may have been disallowed from joining this investigation, I am truly grateful for your appreciation, Dante. I shan't soon forget this. Wait, that's, Hey, Otis, you know that's not at all what I meant. I just thought that maybe we needed someone skilled and experienced like you to effectively manage the remaining centers while we were... Okay. Holy shit. Otis! Licking the boot did not pay off in that case. I really soured the mood, didn't I? The three of them, whom I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams would be hanging out together, all turned to look in my direction. Whoa, just the three of us, huh? A trio, such an eye-catching number, isn't it? Rhodia, I get, but why did the two of you volunteer? Thought it sounded F-A-H. Fun as hell? The greater the quantity and diversity of experience, the better it is. Yeah! Don Quixote tragically drops her head to the ground, crestfallen. I have naught else to blame but my slightly lower vertical placement in this world. Indeed, that must be why Sir Virgilius has failed to catch mine impassioned hand. Don Quixote sobbed, dramatically lamenting how Virgilius did not even bat an eye in her direction, despite her being the first one to raise her hand. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the only reason he didn't pick her, though. Huh, 'tis my final legacy I bestow upon thee. What's all this? A book, a magnifying glass, and... Are these clothes? 'Tis my treasure, my collection. Prithee, be gentle with them. Oh, but why are you carrying 3 sets of clothing? One for my private collection, one for my display, and one for business. Verily, is that not obvious to thee? Records of investigation, solutions to the 13 problems by Agatha? Huh? Somebody's autographed it. So who's this Agatha? Fie! How art ye all so ignorant of the lore of fixers? Once she was a grade 1 fixer who was so prolific that she may as well have been the face of the 7 Association. Truly, no one? Most people don't know those lore, Don Quixote. Cumbersome clothes. How wilt thou call thyself an ace detective when not dressed appropriately for the occasion? Here, here, 'tis only right that the leading ace detective adorn her countenance with this special mustache. Look, Lady Agatha says in the foreword to this story that any self-respecting ace detective must always dress themselves in impeccable fashion. It's true. Don Quixote, just let go. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their reasons, but how come you didn't get picked for this, Ishmael? Didn't get picked? I never volunteered. Hey, it's not every day that you get a legitimate chance to take some free paid time off without breaking company rules, and I wasn't about to let that chance slip. I guess I did have some last-minute regrets when I saw who Virgilius picked, but I'll just relax for a bit and jump into... Excuse me. Help him out when needed. Well, good luck while the... Call us the Elite Four. How's that? While the self-proclaimed Elite Four runs around T-Corp, why don't we find a place to take the edge off and unwind? How unfortunate. T-Corp did not authorize the rest of the sinners to run around unmonitored. You must understand that we simply cannot let individual responsible for 10 billion on worth of time tax roam free without proper collateral. Looks like they have temporary lodging for those who have failed to pay their time tax. Virgilius was pointing at what they clearly called a jail cell. Are you certain that lodging guide? I'm going to jail? Her face there is perfect. The despondent, like, "Ah." That was her trauma face in her canto. And I love that they put it here. Yep. As living collaterals, apparently. It'll be fun. Hey. Bet you'll look fondly back at this memory when it's all said and done. Okay? We'll be right back. So be nice and stay put. Nice. This jail cell at least has something to eat. Wait. What happens if they just leave and don't come back? We'll be seeing him again after 10 billion on worth of time passes, I guess. What? What? Hey, wait, get back here. That's more than enough time to finish weaving on the loom. Calm down, all right? We'll be back before you even... Thou shalt return triumphantly as a glorious band of ace detectives. Mark my words. I fucking love... Don Quixote seriously grew on me like cancer. She's so funny. We set off on our journey after receiving the aforementioned special investigator badges, leaving the chaotic screaming and hollering of the remaining sinners behind. After a while, all we could hear was the sad, intermittent clattering of metal as someone violently shook the steel bars. All right, looks like everyone's ready. Then let's get a move on and have a little chat with the third victim. Let's see. The case records say that, aha, there it is. It's just a stone's throw away. Huh? Huh? What do you mean, huh? Look at the record. It clearly states that neither of the first two victims is in a communicative state. Now, how unfortunate. No, I mean, why are you coming along with us? I'm sorry, but we're not taking sidekick applications right now. Go away. Shoo. Incorrect. One of us will be joining your team. We were going to send an employee with you so that we can receive immediate updates regarding your investigation progress. Pull that stick out of your ass. Oh, they gave Ryoshu the mustache. And she's got the pipe. I like this. I like this. I was hoping they were going to lean into it, and they're doing it. Pull that stick out of your ass. We planned to send a Class 2 staff member with you, but you're... Me? Class 5? See the badge? The chatterbox of an employee replied cheerfully as he produced a twinkling badge from his clothes. I apologize for failing to recognize you, sir. I scarcely expected to see a Class 5 auditor all the way down here. That guy's a Class 5 staff? Really? Class 5 is the highest rank one could reach as a wing employee, right? Yeah, as far as I know. Well, don't be so sure. It depends on which wing you're talking about. Who knows? Maybe there are Class 12 or even Class 20 employees out there. Get it? Got it? Good. Then let's get a move on. We stared in silent bafflement as the employee stormed out of the building, then hurriedly followed him out the door. Isn't it absolutely brilliant? The very concept of killing time. They're not slowing down or speeding up time. They're eliminating it completely. Just yanking it out of circulation. So, your name is? Mai? Relax. Call me however you want. Names are such unimportant things, aren't they? No, names matter. Really? You never call anyone by their names, though. Relax and call you however we want, but you're obviously here to be our handler. That's true. That does make things a tad awkward, doesn't it? Let me think. I've got it. You're all dressed up like detectives. Why don't you consider me your ever-helpful assistant who tags along to your adventures? Okay, but still... Ryoshu, who was staring off into the distance while puffing her cigarette, suddenly spoke up just as Rodeo was about to retort. Assistant, lead us. Right away, ma'am. What's the difference between an assistant and a servant? You know, my family used to employ... They sure warmed up to him fast. Let's see, the third victim of this case is this way. Is this watch factory's? Hold up. The obviously gaudy and expensive suit, the meticulously trimmed and shaped mustache, the third victim must be the owner of this factory. Assistant, confirm my deductions. You're right on the money, detective. We're off to a great start. Hoo-hoo. Ahem, ahem. We are detectives working on the case of time killing time. My name is... What's going on? Ryoshu, detective. He sure is a fast talker. He's talking way faster than Rousseau did when he reviewed those chickens. He's talking so fast, like someone pressed a fast forward button just for him or something. I can't understand a thing coming out of his mouth. He's someone who has a lot of time. What's that supposed to mean? An average T Corp citizen about 20 to 28 hours in a day has about 20 to 28 hours in a day. But you might also run into someone like him, people with plenty of time to spare, because they have so much surplus time they can afford to condense 40, 50 hours into a single day. And to people with fewer hours in a day, it'll look as though he's moving 2 or 3 times faster than them. Someone with that much time could pick their nose in the blink of an eye before anyone else has a chance to catch them in the act. Ew. I gave Rhodia a quick look of concern. She had to do something before Ryoshu SHNC. A quick look, as in a brief flicker of the flames burning on my clock. Would you mind slowing down a bit? I'm just worried that you're at serious risk of becoming a victim of a completely different, slightly more fatal crime. He shook his head in frustration very rapidly, that is, before activating what appeared to be a voice recorder. It began to play his voice back at us. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name's Bumble. I'm a proud proprietor. God, those words did not want to come out of my mouth. A proud proprietor of this watch factory. Apologies for the awkward method of communication. You see, my days are 52 hours long. I used to live 100-hour days in my heyday, but things have taken a turn for the worse at the factory in recent years. 52 hours? To me, it looks as though you're all talking very, very, very slowly. I must say, it's quite frustrating, but I'm willing to suffer this annoyance as long as you can solve this case. You have 52 whole hours to spend in a single day? Gee, can't even imagine what that'd be like. Oh, I can tell you if you're curious. It's a very, very full life, I must say. Having more time to spend in a day means that I can get more things done in a day, like sleeping 10 or more hours a night and having more than 40 hours left to spend. Good sleep is really the key to keeping your skin moist and fresh, indeed. I'll let you touch it if you want. As though in an effort to demonstrate, Bumble was constantly zooming around the room, checking his documents, calling someone on the phone, and even brushing his teeth. Excuse me. While we stood there listening to his recordings. IDC, get to the point. It was one late evening. Let's see. Like always, I was busily walking down the street. I had a very, very important meeting to attend to, and all of a sudden, an attack. No, I just happened to recall that I'd left the bacon on the kitchen counter at home. I should have left it covered with Strict 23's purple salt. Aha, my second oldest aunt used to sprinkle that salt all the time. The point. Well, so I stopped briefly, looking up at the clock tower and wondering if I should head back home to salt that bacon. And that's when the Time Ripper struck. The clock tower? Each one of the 12 zones at T Corp has a clock tower that displays A Corp's standard time scale. Because everyone has different hours to spend in a day, their watches sync with their respective time scales as well. So to tell the real objective time, one would have to check the clock tower. Oh, that's pretty neat. All right, you two, let's focus on stuff that's actually important. Let's see. How about we start with a physical description? A fine tailored suit. Huh? A tailored suit. A bit fancy for someone called the Time Ripper, don't you think? It must have cost about 58 million on. Of course, since it was tailor-made, its comfort was beyond human imagination. Wait, what? Oh, and how could I forget? This impressive yet keenly shaped mustache. Hey, I wasn't talking about your own physical description. One more chance until I SYNC. Oh, you mean the murderer's appearance? Well, let me think. I don't recall anything. It just happened so fast that... How did it feel to have your own time killed? Was it painful? Can you not ask something like that with such a big grin on your face? Nope, it was just... 100 hours was gone in the blink of an eye. I missed a very important appointment thanks to that, I'll have you know. I suffered so much in damages. 100 hours? So you lost a whole week in the blink of an eye? Ugh. Nope, 100 hours for me is just 2 days or so. Still, you have no idea how much I lost because of those 2 days. Ripping away time, huh? An invention that enables something like that would certainly win the Inventor of the Year award. And the loads of prize money that comes with it. T-Corp really values and supports its inventors, you know. Some people say that once upon a time, T-Corp's chief executive director himself showed up to bestow the awards. I guess once an inventor is always an inventor. I say that he probably wanted others to carry on his inquisitive spirit. I've seen the ceremony once, and he was giving away autographs. Then maybe we're looking for an inventor who received an award for that tech. Assistant? But every invention at T-Corp needs to be registered at the Technology Administration Agency, though it is not without a few exceptions. There once was a time when a rogue group of inventors called the League of Nine Littérateurs made some inventions that they neglected to register, and wow, what a mess that was. Every single corner of T-Corp was up in arms, everyone dashing about in panic, making arrests, holding important meetings while It was that big of a deal? I can't imagine how hard it must have been for Yi Sang. All right. So, is there anything like that registered in T-Corp's tech agency? Nope. First time I've heard anything like it. You could have started there, you know. This guy has a really hard time sticking to the point. What if this is a power granted by the distortion? Meanwhile, Ryoshu, who is completely uninterested in the conversation, stared off in the distance. She looked out the factory window and let another puff of smoke out before muttering quietly to herself. No killer, no corpses. Well, yeah, no one's actually dead, and we don't know where the killer is. Who could it be, I wonder? Someone who took a liking to my very expensive suit, I say. Disagree. Your suit's shit. Aw. Besides, if I really wanted to kill you... Me? Why would you... I'd have to be able to move as fast as you do. I won't be able to get a good aim at your vitals otherwise. Ryoshu strode toward him before suddenly breaking into a charging sprint. Bumble rapidly stumbled back in terror, but Ryoshu wasn't fast enough to close the distance and press her scabbard into his neck, despite the disparity in time. Just like this. Whoa, I thought she was actually about to beat the crap out of him with that scabbard. That'd be case closed then, All we'd have to do is just arrest Ryoshu. You scared the heck out of me. Well, I suppose that villain didn't really stab me in my vitals or whatever, but he did appear all of a sudden just like you did. I see, so the killer isn't just running around ripping time away from random people left and right. Yes, the killer was going specifically for that ASS. The void left behind by Sinclair's absence was much bigger than I thought. I meant that annoying, stupid stash. Not having that kid here is frustrating. No way! Can you think of a single person who hates someone like me? I hate him. It's not hard. I can think of more than a few. I say that it must have been the work of some bandit who wanted to try on my tailored suit. Oh, what about your employees? Lady Agatha's book says that to find the culprit, we must first look at the victim's immediate circle. I have no idea if that book Don Quixote gave us earlier is actually helping, but I suppose it's at least a very good page-turner. Honolulu can't seem to be able to tear his eyes away from it. Maybe I should check it out too, once we get back to the bus. Yeah, that works. Then the culprit has to be an employee who hated the owner so much, enough to try to take his time. Nuh-uh, that seems quite implausible, as you can see. What? The laborers at this factory? They're all working so slowly, like they're moving through molasses. Oh, most factory laborers like them usually live rather short, 10-hour days, most of which they spend at their factory jobs anyway. What did you just say? Listen up, everyone. Our output gain saw only 13% growth compared to last month's growth. I have not impressed upon you how important this is. We'll be falling behind profit margin projections at this rate. Bumble hollers at them in frustration. The laborers very, very slowly turn their heads to look up at the factory owner, even that simplest action taking an excruciatingly long time to complete. Boss, it's impossible to work any faster than... How bothersome. Less complaining, more assembling. Use your times effectively. Chop chop. You have no idea how frustrating it has been for me as of late. Did you even know that the next batch of cogs have stopped all of a sudden? We could understand him thanks to the recorder next to us, but everyone out of his earshot would have no chance of understanding whatever he's talking about. Hey, Mr. Bumble, you're talking way too fast for them to understand. You know that. How do you expect them to understand a thing you're saying? So it's not me who's too fast, it's them who are too slow. Only hustlers and busy bees like myself, who make the best of their time, can rise above the rest in this chaotic, bustling city. What? You know that's a little bull. How are they supposed to hustle or make the best of their times when they're practically nailed to the floor? And with what time? Rhodia, hey, I don't think someone like him will ever understand what you're talking about. He was born and raised in T-Corp after all. Hey, assistant, you're a class 5 employee, right? Aren't you supposed to be a big shot? You seriously think there's anything normal about any of this? Normal? Dear detectives, do you happen to be returning from a round trip across every single nest in the city, all the way from A to Z? Can you confidently say that you have seen all there is to see? Not really, but then give this idea a thought, why don't you? That the notion of what is normal is just a mirage conjured by the downtrodden and the suffering. That is to say, that suffering is a part of life in the city, regardless of which nest you're in. I don't see any suffering in that mug of Mr. 50-hour days right there. Such harsh words. I have my share of pain, I'll have you know. I've been waiting for someone to get finished for a while. Do you know how much of a pain it is to wait for something but also have too much time in your day? Oh, it's so tedious. Bumble gently fixed his mustache and hair before caressing his expensive coat with care. God, this guy's such a turd. Maybe we can flip the script on our line of thought. What kind of people, Rhodia, do you think hate rich people? Well, except for their families. If I do ever get murdered under mysterious circumstances, I'm willing to bet that it's one of my family members who did me in. Or Heathcliff. That's a pretty dark joke. The culprit went straight for Bumble, but his employees literally can't move fast enough to have done that. None of them look like distortions either. Yes, if the culprit's hiding among those slowpokes, Clock would have noticed it. Then that narrows the culprit down to someone unrelated to the factory, someone without much time, someone who's got a bone to pick against the time rich. Or it could be someone who's unhappy about the state of affairs in T-Corp's nest. Also, while Dante could be right that this power was granted by a distortion, nothing rules out the possibility that they may be using an unregistered invention. There may be more than a single culprit then. More than a single culprit, huh? Wait, I think I know an organization that might fit this exact description. No way, I doubt it. They don't ever take drastic actions like this anymore, even back at J-Corp. That's some coincidence, isn't it? I happen to know a group of people just like them. Sometime later in a certain alleyway, a group of people unhappy with the state of affairs in the nest. Perhaps you're looking for the Eurodivier. Oh, that rings a bell. Isn't your friend the founder of that organization, Rhodia? Rhodia stopped dead in her tracks. The Eurodivier. Here? Do you know something about that organization? I did hear that they've been spreading throughout the nests as of late, though it hasn't been long since they started popping up within T-Corp's borders. So direct T-Corp employees like myself have been stationed all over the nest to question any suspicious individuals. He thinks it's a real bother. Standing guard here, all this stop and search, so tedious. So what are the Eurodivier up to around here? All kinds of stuff that petty thieves get up to, stealing things like time or money. Well, I did hear that they also do some pro bono detective work for people who can't afford the time or money to hire people in. Wait, stop right there, you. What are you looking at what are you looking around all shifty for? It's a stop and search. What? Hey, I'm just trying to walk away from that lady with the cig and that creepy glare. Hey, we've seen that guy. Where can we find them? The Eurodivier. Well, quite easily, in fact. Let's see, they're... Honglu! A sudden explosion tore Honglu to shreds as he was peeking around an alleyway. Speak of the devil, maybe I should have activated their badges earlier? Activate our badges? Starting off with a bang, huh? Good luck, Dante. Let's bring him back. Gotcha. Turning the clock now. Wait, you can bring him back? There, the explosion came from that way. Damn watch chains of T-Corp here to collect your filthy dues, eh? Okay, no time to explain, right? Then let's talk about that later. Gun him down. It's been a little minute since I used this team. Luckily, all of them have relatively leveled up skins or IDs or whatever. Could be kind of a pain in the ass to have to level up a whole new set of IDs to get through an intervallo. You had all shit guys for this intervallo? That sucks. I mean, I would say that the Honglu that I have is technically not very good, and neither is the Rodia that I have, but they can win clashes, and I'm pretty sure that what they're going to toss at me in this intervallo is probably going to be just that, you know, stuff that I just have to get through with winning clashes. I doubt that they're going to throw anything technically complicated at me while I have my hands tied behind my back, essentially. I started playing Pal World again. It's been a hot minute, and I basically decided to start over because, you know, if you played Pal World at launch, you probably have a world where you've like done all of the things that Pal World on original release had. And I just kind of wanted to do everything in the 1.0 way, and that's been really fun. It's just one of those kind of games I like. The following the crafting tree up. Retreat. Hey, participation trophy. Participation trophy? Is he talking to me? How on earth did you do that earlier? Tick tock, and voila. It seemed to me that you rewound time and unwound your friends. I've never seen tech that could rewind time like that. Well, that's trade secret. And ask, and you shall receive. Pain. Fascinating. Aren't you terrified of time? As far as I'm aware, there is practically no way to rewind time for a singular entity that exists only in an open, unclosed area. Either that, or my study didn't reach as far as I thought it did. Wait, no. That's actually a very serious problem then. I was very desperate. As you know, it's very unlikely that I missed anything. You know what else is a serious problem? The fact that we're wasting our time chatting about inane stuff while they're all getting away. Come on, Dante. Hold on, inane stuff? This is extremely serious. Its importance is is absolutely incomparable to what amounts to arresting a few small fry revolutionaries. If it were a true resurrection, then the head would have been after your heads already. So I doubt that's what this is. Then it must have something to do with time manipulation. I'm certain of it. Oh, you've been playing it too, Greed? Yeah, I played it in a group the first time that I played through it, and I do genuinely enjoy playing it in a group. But yeah, I didn't think anybody who I have been actively playing games with recently was actually into it. Maybe it works with the same mechanisms as the TT2 protocol under the hood. Nope. That works only within an isolated enclosure. It can't rewind the time of a singular individual. Perhaps they're drawing time from elsewhere to inject it into their time streams? That seems a tad more plausible. If you actually rewinding their time, then the visual elements of that process would manifest. in a vastly different manner. I suppose this means that you can't really rewind or skip time either, am I right? You can't just say all that gibberish and expect me to be able to... The process also seems to involve a great degree of pain. Oh well, it seems to be in bad taste to say that it's good news, but I suppose I can say that what I'm about to tell you is somewhat auspicious. I was going to get into the nitty-gritty only if we had to venture on to one of the more dangerous places like the back streets, but here we go. Check the other side of your badges. There should be a small clockwork knob attached to your badges in there. Mind rotating it for me? The Class 5 staff member jabbered on endlessly, zapping between numerous subjects within a matter of seconds before reaching out and pointing at the badges we were wearing. Not all fixers specializing in investigations are strong enough to defend themselves in emergencies. That's why these special investigator badges are all equipped with the same special function that goes into suits that higher-ranking staff members of T-Corp wear. It's called Golden Time. If you keep the clockwork wound, it will automatically speed up the body's natural regeneration process as soon as it detects that its wearer is at risk of death. It's nothing compared to what you're capable of, but it's quite something, isn't it? So I don't actually have to turn the clock myself? Of course. It takes some time for it to refill once its charge is spent. If you've ever run out of its uses, then I suppose it all comes down to you. Participation trophy. You'll have to take one for the team and bring them all back yourself. You're willing to do that, but not willing to help us before we get torn to shreds, huh? I prefer that. Good. Who? Ready? Let's go after them then. Played a bunch on 1.0 release day. That's what's up. I really haven't touched it until 2 days ago, and I've been really enjoying it. A lot of it is a lot of the stuff that I've done so far has just been kind of what I was doing before, but essentially like I always like building a weird house design and then like setting up a little house in kind of the starter area, and then I end up inevitably moving to a larger, flatter space that has more range for me to lay down, because the production assembly line buildings are so fucking big. It's insane. So like I'm looking at probably moving my Pal World base to a new location relatively soon, but for quality of life I cranked up the crafting times because God, like, I mean, I've explored all of the stuff that I'm at level to do, and basically I'm just like waiting, standing in base, waiting for them to finish crafting the cement or finish crafting the pal ingots, pal steel. I don't know, whatever it's called, the third tier of ingot. Where did they run off to? I'm pretty sure they came this way. No more tracks. We wasted too much time on this boring lecture. Hey, assistant, are you sure it's okay for you to just saunter behind us like you're out on a picnic? Why would I run? I hate running. It's literally your job to arrest the Eurodivier, isn't it? Is it, though? My job is, at this precise moment, to keep my eyes on you and your investigation regarding the case of time-killing time, not making Eurodivier arrests. But you're a T-Corp employee. Okay, fine. Let's say that I decided to run instead of walk and helped you capture the Eurodivier rascals. What then? Will T-Corp suddenly stop having problems just because they're gone? Will this place suddenly transform into some kind of humanitarian paradise? Not to mention that, as long as their leader runs free, they'll be back before you know it. I have never played Stellaris, although I did look at it multiple times, and it did, I mean, the things that you mentioned in the Discord about it, Putty, were things that I probably would be into. I don't know. I do like spreadsheet.exe game, and some of the systems within the games. It seems like a game that would probably eat up hundreds of hours for me, but it does look fun. I'm gonna need you to. We're gonna have to compare notes, Greed. You can tell me the hot spots, the good spaces to go to. I just use the church and use the what is it, the rush boar. I mount a rush boar and go to the church, and I also, for quality of life, doubled the resource yield so that they give me 80 per node instead of 40. It's not doing the neuron activation. Neuron activation can sometimes be difficult for me as well. Like right now, I'm enjoying the story as it goes along, but this is not triggering the same thing that I get whenever I hear the rare achievement sound pop. Speaking of which, I like disappeared off the face of the earth because for 3 days almost 3 days straight. I played the Planet Crafter after it released on Xbox, and I had played it before, and I had 100%ed it whenever it got its 1.0 update on Steam, and that game does neuron activation for me in a big way. I just love watching the planet change little by little over time, and I 100%ed it on Xbox, and I was the first person to 100% it on Xbox on the True Achievements team. So I was super hyped just having that like title thing pop up that I'm the first person who's completed the game was satisfying. It's my first. Excuses then, KTA. If we do kill them all, that only opens up room for a worse syndicate to take their place. If that happens, that collector friend from earlier might end up suffering from something much, much worse than having to stop and search random passers-by. Not to mention that I'll be getting muscle cramps from all the running. Besides, isn't your friend one of them? Weird. I thought you wouldn't want me to arrest them. Right? I thought Rhodia would be a bit happier to be reunited with the Eurodivier. Well, since it looks like the trail's gone cold, let's go back to the stop and search lady and ask if she noticed anything suspicious since we left. Fine. The T-Corp employee we met earlier was still standing completely inert, not moving a muscle. Poor woman. Can't believe she's still on duty at such a late hour. She looks like she's distorted. Such is the life of a laborer. No. They got her. I can't even hear her breathing. That's the Time Ripper's MO. The Time Ripper got to her that fast? She's in a state of absolute stillness. A death-like state achieved without a thimble of blood on their hands. What a misophobic art. A misophobic art? Define misophobia. An abnormal feeler of dirt or contamination. Oh, okay. There's a plateau that used to be the go-to second base spot, but I want to give this other location a try. I know the plateau you're talking about, Greed, because it like I think you have to like in the mid game, even whenever you have like a mount that's like level 50 or something with decent stamina, I recall having to like go up and then take a break and then go up and take a break and go up and take a break. It was that high up. It's like a 3-tiered thing, and all the way at the top there's like a bajillion nodes, and if you like park a bunch of Anubises there, they'll mine it indefinitely and just kind of automate that process. I haven't quite gotten to the point of automating my ore yet though. Though she may be in a state of stasis to those of us watching from the outside. For her, this must be as brief as the blink of an eye. What do you think the culprit is trying to do with all that time? Guys, this is a crime scene. Let's try not to touch the the victim. Whoa, look. There must be some sort of spatio-temporal displacement superposition phenomenon going on here. She is entirely incorporeal. Is this seriously the time to... Rhodia, there, up ahead! I whipped around, noticing the now familiar sensation of a distortion, and caught a brief glimpse of a suspicious figure slowly slipping into the fog. You, stop! Ryoshu, think you can catch up? I am not your hunting dog. But sure, I'll entertain you just this once. She's pretty fast. Ryoshu sure moves fast when she finds something interesting. It's been a while since I've seen people like you, the kind who sprint forward with their eyes fixed on the horizon. Here, everyone only looks down, their necks bent and gaze locked on the ground, watching their own feet take their halting steps. I suppose they only ever look up to check the clock on the time on the clock towers, but there must have been a time when everyone walked tall. I think I know why that is. It's because they all learned helplessness, because they realized that even if they ran till their lungs burst, nothing will change, that it doesn't matter. Yeah, not everyone can run like Merceau. Learning to maintain a stable breathing rhythm is not easy. That's not what I'm talking about. Wait, take a closer look at their face. Remember? It's the same face she was making earlier when she shouted, "It's a stop and search." Yeah, maybe she saw someone suspicious, approached for a stop and search, and got ambushed. We should ask her when she recovers. But we don't know when she'll recover. Sometime later. Catch. Are you sure you captured him alive? Hey, Ryoshu, doesn't he kind of look a bit different from the mysterious person that got away? He's clearly wearing something different. Besides, he's one of the Eurodivier we already ran into. Clothes are just husks that could be cast off at any moment. He started running as soon as our eyes met. Hey, rise and shine. How am I the suspicious one? Anyone would run if someone like you started sprinting after them. With that big sword in your hands? I have many, many ways to crush the truth out of you. First, no dismembering. This is the Eurodivier's turf. You'll soon regret dragging me down here. I prepared this secret weapon just for this occasion. Well, watch out! But nothing happened. What was that? One of the 5 greatest inventions of the Eurodivier T-Corp branch, the portable adjustable frequency periodical lightning apparatus attachment soundwave generator. This will call every single Eurodiv in its range to this exact location. There. See what I mean? You see the problem prevalent amongst inventors? They never know when to stop when it comes to naming their inventions. You'll pay dearly for smacking me in the back of the noggin. I think you and all the people you just called are about to get deleted. Maybe not deleted. I'm sorry. This is not the middle team, but have an uncomfortable experience. Yeah, the big issue I always run into in Pal World is finding a good base and knowing when to stop nesting. I spend way too much time just nesting, just like building a base. It's genuinely, it's a huge problem for me. I can't stop myself. I just keep building. I'm thinking about building like maybe an octagon, like a very, very large octagonal platform. And I've already got a house, so I think I'll just make like a giant flat factory floor this time. The last time I tried to do anything with walls or defenses or anything to try to avoid getting attacked by raids caused a bunch of glitches in the way that the spawning things, the raid enemies spawned in, and ended up causing the base's foundations to get damaged. You explore too much and you don't need to do the base upgrade requirements? Well, don't you have to do the base upgrade requirements in order to upgrade your equipment? I mean, like, if you don't have sufficient equipment, I mean, like, I had a level 28, not boss, but one of the, like, world bounty nodes, one of the, not the pals, the people. And that guy, he two-shot me. He burned through my entire shield in one hit, and then the second hit just killed me. He had a katana. I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, at that point, I was level 60, I think? And I was running around, just fighting pals that were significantly higher level than me and killing them with no problem. But this guy, he did some kind of a charge attack and just killed me. Oh, you said you don't do it, not that you don't need to. Okay. So you just don't. You need to do it, but you don't do it. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the issues. Don't get hit. Oh, I feel like this would be the perfect moment for you to skill issue sound clip me. Get good, Leon. Anyway, I think I'm gonna probably end up locking in on Pal World and finishing it. It's probably gonna take me a couple of weeks. I don't do Pal World. I know some of the achievement hunters that I am friends with have already, they cleared 1.0, like all of the achievements that popped up on the 1.0 update 2 days after it had launched. And I'm just like, why even play video games at that point? Like, if the only thing you want to do is like get in, set all of the game settings to giga easy, and basically speed run through the content so that you can just unlock the achievement. I'm like, why are you even doing that? Like, why are you playing the video game? I don't know. When I 100%ed Planet Crafter again, I did it while having a lot of fun. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. And I wasn't rushing through the game. I was just like, everything at that point had been muscle memory for me because I'd already 100%ed it. That, like, doing all of the inventory management and stuff that probably took other people significantly longer was just, like, super, super fast for me. I knew exactly what I needed to do for my next upgrade. I knew, like, oh, I need obsidian. I remember where obsidian is. And I just could go get it. But, like, that was still super, super fun for me. I just don't understand the motivation for jumping into a game and being like, okay, now I'm going to enter in these codes. I'm not going to play the game at all because if I enter these codes in, it just unlocks the achievements. And then I'm going to uninstall it. I don't know. That seems poopy. New PoE League started Friday, so I've been playing that a bunch. Ah, I see. I feel like a new PoE League just started, but that was the PoE 2 League had started. This is a new PoE 1 League, which is coming after the Sands. I don't know. This whatever the fuck the last one that I played briefly in. These guys are running away. You're still learning about a game you don't own? What game is that? That's what you did with Library of Ruina, though, wasn't it? Is you learned about Library of Ruina, you were like reading a bunch about it, and then you bought it. Did you finish Library of Ruina, by the way? Dominion 6, that's the one you mentioned in Discord, I think. No? I swear to God, somebody told me about Dominion 6 recently. I'm gonna need to search my Discord history. I swear somebody brought it up. After matching various pieces of information we found from the defeated Eurodivier members together, we managed to track them down to a run-down building that appeared to be their hideout. You finally managed to track us down, haven't you? Go. Filthy watch chains of T-Corp and you clock. You clock, he says. It's only elementary because I am an ace detective. Wanting to stream Library just threw you off? Yeah, just play for fun. Don't worry about... I mean, like, of course, if you want to stream it, if that's how you want to play it, then do that. But, like, I say, don't worry about it. If you want to play it and you just enjoy it, like you did with Limbus. You know, stream the bits that you want to stream and then don't stream what you don't want to stream. If you're not up for it, especially. Rhodia exclaimed triumphantly as she flicked her hair back, but I sensed the smallest hint of uncertainty in her voice. Yep, we're all ace detectives. Ugh, I'll admit, we shouldn't have let you track us down, but you don't look too strong. It's a foolish move to fight a lion in its den. I hope you prepared yourselves. Don't you worry about our butts. We've got a class 5 with us, you know. I can deduce a few things about you. One, that man's outfit, that aloof look on his face. I see. It's likely that you're not lying that he really is a Class 5 staff member. 2, you're absolutely shameless for bringing a Class 5 watch chain to a run-down hideout like this. Why does that have anything to do with shame? I don't know about shame, but this place sure is run down. Right. How about this? I'll sit this one out just for the sake of fairness. It'll be like cheating if I were to take part in this fight, yeah? That is a fair proposal. Fine, I accept your offer. Do we not get a say in any of this? Yeah, well, while this is doing its thing, I shall pull up Firefox. My bitrate doesn't like that. Rise of the Panto Crater. I swear to God, I've seen this. Somebody linked this to me like the other day. Who linked this to me? Hang on a second. Now I've got to pull up Discord and go into my DMs and see who mentioned Dominion 6. Am I hallucinating right now? Or am I having deja vu? You brought it up in the Discord, nerd. Put a YouTube video. That's absolutely what you were talking. You brought it up. It was you. That's what I said earlier. I said, what's the game you're still learning about? Dominion 6? And I said, oh yeah, that's right. Didn't you mention that in Discord? And you said no. And I was like, wait, what? You did. Oh, she said no to finishing Runa. See that with the delay and how my brain works? I couldn't piece those two together. That's what I get for shotgun blasting questions at chat. That's true. That's true. Well, I can't stomp whenever I don't have Mama Otis in the team, so that part is not my fault. I've been railroaded into using these other people, but I do like these other characters. Yeah, I'm trying my absolute bestest. I'm struggling sometimes because the pool is very serious. But I'm trying my absolute bestest to not buy any new games that I have not already started at some point in the past, in the long forgotten past. And I'm trying to finish up games that I've already started. Yeah, I did mention your post. I was just confused about your response to Library of Ruina, and I conflated two things that... I took your answer to another question as the answer to a different question and got confused. I confused myself. I can't function without my morning coffee. It's more like I can't function without a full night's sleep. I woke up this morning at 11 p.m. It was like 11:30 or 11:45 p.m., something like that. And I woke up with one of our cats, the kind of really stupid cat, licking me on the face, which he basically never does. And then he plopped himself down on my chest, and I have pretty serious cat allergies. When they actually, like, when the hair gets inside like my mucous membranes, like my nose or my eyeballs or inside my mouth, or if I inhale like cat fur, really fine cat fur, it makes me sick. I get ill. And him being directly on top of me. Most of the cats, when they sleep on the bed, sleep on the foot of the bed and don't get up in my grill because I don't like it, and they know I don't like it. Yeah, I woke up this morning at 11 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, so Anyway, I woke up, I fed the cats because all of them, when I got out of bed, all of them went fucking berserk. So I was like, okay, you guys are hungry, here you go. So I fed all the cats and I came downstairs and like this half of my sinuses just wasn't working, which is distracting. If you're trying to sleep and you're used to being able to breathe out of your nose and you can't suddenly, it's distracting. So yeah, I tried laying back down. Usually if I get up and I can't sleep because of allergies or whatever, I'll take a pill, an allergy medicine, and I'll lay down over there on that couch because this room is like a blackout room. When the shoji are closed and the lights are off, it's pitch black in here. So I tried to sleep and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I just played Pal World. Played Pal World and watched YouTube videos. I found I didn't find them, but one of the other streamers that I watched mentioned them. And basically, I found this YouTube channel called Justine Underhill, and she makes really good. She makes good videos. She's low, relatively low subscriber count, but makes really good videos about housing crisis and stuff like that. So that's just one of those mornings I watched It's Always Sunny, and then I watched a couple of her YouTube videos. I love It's Always Sunny. It's one of my favorite shows. Like, I already liked Danny DeVito as an actor in general. I always thought he did just like the most amazing job in Tim Burton's Batman Returns. Like, him as the Penguin, genuinely upsetting, like makes you nauseous. He was so good in that movie. But seeing him in It's Always Sunny as Frank Reynolds is just it's peak TV. He's so good. The way he talks, his like mannerisms, he always sounds like he's got like a sandwich halfway down his neck, halfway down his throat. Yeah, we basically win all of these clashes for the most part, and this fight is just kind of dragged out because we don't have the damage output that I'm used to. Don't quite have the damage output, but have plenty of clash win potential. We quickly moved our conversation into the hideout after defeating the Eurodivier members. Surrender and confess. Starting to run low on patience might kill you soon. No, looks like Ryoshu's getting tired of playing detective. We've surrendered already, not sure what you want us to confess either. What, would you like us to confess that we're the Eurodivier or something? We hesitated, unsure if he really was clueless or not. That's when Rhodia confidently strode forward and pointed an accusatory finger at the Eurodivier captain. Right, questioning time. You've always hated this nest's state of affairs, am I right? Must you really ask? You like inventing stuff and not registering them to the tech agency, don't you? Again, must you really inquire about something you could discern simply by looking around? Oh, mind if I take a gander at these inventions? Wait, don't just go around touching. I see. This hedgehog toy is a time bomb disguised as a stuffy. It scans the palm as soon as it enters within a certain proximity range, and if it doesn't recognize the palm as an authorized individual's, it'll shoot out all these spines to penetrate the intruder. But you've screwed the parts too tightly down here. You'll do well to remember that mechanical engineering isn't all about tightening the screws as hard as you can. Sometimes you need a slightly loose screw or two to make things fit better. And another thing, if I were you, I would have made the spine holes hexagon-shaped, not circular. You could tell all that from a quick look? You certainly are no common employee. Either way, most of those are experiments, incomplete products, in truth. In truth, y'all like making more dangerous, destructive inventions too, right? You really are a persistent one, aren't you? What are you getting at? And I'm sure these violent inventions eventually led to something that can completely rip someone's time away. Wait, what? The culprit behind the case of time killing time. It's you guys, right? It's what you do, isn't it? You see something that rubs you the wrong way, you go ahead and smash it to bits. That's a bit of a logical leap, isn't it? Who do you think the Eurodivier are? Sounds like this pal of yours in the Eurodivier really messed up big time in the past, Did he do something drastically violent? No, Sonia, he always knew how to say the right things to get people to agree with him, to convince them to join his cause. His words filled me with this confidence that we could really change the world, that it really was as effortless as letting candy slowly melt away in my mouth. But what could he possibly do to change the world? He doesn't even do anything, not like these guys. I bet the T-Corp Eurodivier are nothing more than knockoffs who just found themselves inspired by stories coming out of J-Corp. It's absolutely baffling how you failed to correctly deduce a single thing. No, we're not knockoffs. Besides the Saint that has already brought many changes to this world, changes that you mere detectives can't even dream of. The Saint? Indeed, Saint Sonia was more than one who really sparked the fire of the Eurodivier in every nest. Well, that isn't the only reason they call him the Saint, but that's besides the point. Eurodivier in every nest? Sonia did that? Since you claim to be Saint Sonia's friend, allow me to say it in no uncertain terms. The Eurodivier has nothing to do with your case. Sonia, Are we supposed to take at your word? First, we don't have this time-killing technology. We can steal time or time pieces, but it's practically impossible to kill time. Making something so absurd would surely catch the tech agency's attention. And that is trouble, and I'm not willing to invite. Why, you've certainly been causing a ruckus here. Isn't that what the Eurodivier wants? Chaos? Please, don't compare us to the likes of Backstreet's gangs. Though there are those among us who want that chaos, of course. One of our former members insisted that we must take the abundance of time in T-Corp for ourselves and have our comrades divide it equally among us. But such drastic action would also hurt the have-nots, those who do not deserve such pain, so we must adhere to the Saint's teachings. To truly tear out the throats of the rich, we must wait for the right moment. The right moment. So it really was Sonia. So I've been wondering, are you really the Saint's friend? Sometimes you need a screw loose. That's a quote. With 10k hours of PoE clearly able to kill time. Somebody's able to kill time, god damn. It's a genocide over there. So, I've been wondering, are you really the Saint's friend? Of course she is. He even invited her to join his journey. Why don't we leave for now? We can always come back here once we uncover more evidence. Dante says let's leave for now. Are we not arresting them? Didn't one of you give me a whole lecture about how this is my job to arrest them? Rhodia ignored the assistant's questions and turned around to leave the hideout, wearing a dark expression. Something I had never seen from her before. The assistant shrugged, and we were about to leave the hideout as well, but the Eurodivier captain stopped us. Wait, if you really are a friend of the Saint, then I can't let you leave without giving you some advice. As the more experienced detective, I was able to establish a few things from this conversation, so allow me to share them with you. Oh, right. You dabble in detective work from time to time as well, yes? Is that a common thing that Eurodivier get up to? No, only the Eurodivier branch in District 20 do. Anyway, if I were you, I would start by looking for a common thread that ties all victims together. Find out what they have in common. Why? Rhodia, why would you say why there? It's an obvious thing. The T-Corp, it's like the first thing that you do when you have like a serial event of crimes. When you have a bunch of crimes that all have the same MO, is you look for ties that bring them together. And Rhodia's like, why would I do that? What? The T-Corp Collections Agency knows everything about time, where it comes from, where it goes, but not with this case. But if they know everything about comings and goings of time, how are they avoiding their eyes? Not all of us do. I can't tell you more. However, just know that we have an ace up our sleeve that lets us continue our guerrilla activities in this nest. Anyways, does it not strike you as odd that for someone such as with such impressive technology that can quite literally rip away time without a trace, the killer seems unusually passive? This tells me that there is a condition they must first reach to use their powers. Another possibility is that they have a certain creed or a belief system that they follow, but ideologically motivated culprits usually leave behind more obvious evidence that points towards their beliefs. Oh, I think that adds up nicely. Want to join our squad of ace detectives? Who the hell hired this bumbling team of amateur detective wannabes? Huh, never mind. Now, would you kindly leave this place? Well, we know where the Eurodivia are. We can always come back here if we ever need anything else. Like they aren't going to just pack up and leave? I feel like they would just pack up and leave. It would be silly for them to stay. Well then, the Eurodivia is swearing up and down that they've got nothing to do with this case, and the Time Ripper is still at large. What now, ace detectives? What now is I'm going to take a break so that I can go hit my inhaler because the cat, like, usually I don't use my inhaler very often at all because it's steroidal, and I just don't want to use it unless I absolutely need to, but I need to because I'm like having a hard time breathing. But I'll be right back. What now, ace detectives? But we don't have any other leads. The one that we talked to just left the hideout, so why don't we follow him? You want to tail that Eurodivy? Well, looks like they're not arresting them. May pay off after all. I think it's a fair suggestion. waste of time. We should torture them one by one until someone breaks. According to page 155 of Lady Agatha's book, an ace detective must always remain vigilant and not shy away from stakeouts. You're already on page 155? Don Quixote gave us this book so that we can all become ace detectives. I've been reading it wherever I can. The Eurodiviers. Petty. Time thievery won't change the world. Is that why you're letting them go? Because it doesn't matter? Huh? No, not at all. It's the opposite, in fact. I want to see things change. Change? It is said that the Eurodiviers started from a small group of nobodies. But they kept at it, slowly but surely, spreading through the city. I hear they've been causing some real trouble in some nests, and they find it difficult to get rid of them. Do you know what people have been saying here at T-Corp? Running low on time, but burning full of frustration? Then come join the Eurodivier. Unlike most people who accept injustices and move on, they don't. They refuse to turn a blind eye, confident and determined that they will one day bring real changes to the city. It's only natural that I find them extremely fascinating to witness to what end do their desperate desires and aspirations lead. Nothing but impotent squirmings. I'm sorry, do any of you even give a damn about solving the case? This case has a certain destructive aesthetic to it. I like it. I'm following my family elder's words to see and experience as much of the world as I can before I return, because their words better be followed. Sounds excruciatingly bothersome. So many things in this world presume that they deserve to call themselves family. I've never really heard you talk like that, Ryoshu. What will you ever accomplish with such half-heartedness? Don't worry about it. Most people live on with what they... Most people live on with that very half-heartedness. It's been eons since I really desired something with all my heart, you know. No, I'm not most people. I'm... From the distance, loud, rapid footsteps broke through Rhodia's quiet whispers. I knew it. The culprit was a Eurodivi. Gah! They're here. Won't give them a slip this time. Okay, let's go. Maybe you'll catch them this time if you learn to breathe like Merceau, Ryoshu. Rhodia, let's... Rhodia came to a sudden stop and looked at me, staring at me from underneath the shadows cast over her eyes. Dante, do you think it would have been any different if I followed Sonia back to the casino? Why do you ask? I mean, it's just watching Sonia's goals actually start to take shape while I stagnated, unchanging. It's making me feel... Rhodia hesitated. Odd. An odd impression. I mean, she's already signed, like, a bunch of stuff away to the company. I don't think she can quit. Also, the entire implication of the game being Limba bus company, Limbo, like, and they're the magic number 12 sinners, +1, 13 sinners, the unlucky number, fun times. It all leads me to believe that this is not something they can get out of. Like, they're trapped here. Like, all of them are trapped here until they accomplish a thing, or until a certain amount of time has passed, or until their contracts have been fulfilled. And then they can move on to whatever else is next. But the whole implication is a limbo bus. Which is not to say a bus in which you do the limbo, because that would be silly. You're late, clock. The two sinners have had their head start, but it didn't take very long before we caught up to them and saw them quietly kneeling behind cover. We'll go ahead and draw their attention. We should be able to corner them in this direction. Since Ryoshu and Honglu are out there to draw the culprit here, we just have to do our part and capture them. A bus full of limbs. Got it. God damn it. That's not what I think it means. That's not what it does. That's not what it does. That is what it does. Bet you never saw this coming. Yeah. What's wrong, Rhodia? Roll my dice. Just every time I think about Sonia, I remember all the things that I couldn't do, that's all. Rhodia. Nope, I'm not gonna let this drag me down. I just gotta do what I can at this moment, right? Wouldn't it be so nice if the culprit showed up right now so I can get my hands on him and manage to get this over with? Ugh, all this waiting around is getting so tedious. Hopefully I'll look real badass when I arrest him. You certainly recover quick. Now that's a good attitude to have. Limbs of infinite ass kicking. Only because it's technically infinite limbs, right? Because if they cut one off, I could just turn back time. And then they have their just more limbs. It's just more limbs to the meat grinder. Well, you know, ain't that how emotion's supposed to be? Constantly changing with time, you know? It is now. Is it now? I don't quite agree. Emotions don't change with time. I'd say that the changing emotions are what drive the flow of time. That's some complicated stuff. I just can't wait to hear all the praises they'll sing of me once I snag this Eurodivvy rascal, that's all. You know, I want to be an ace detective. Then you shall have your chance. A chance for you to be the center of attention, a subject of praise. That long coat, that hat. You're... Rhodia, Dante, the culprit ran that way. You're the Time Ripper. Correct. This isn't good. It'll take a while for Honglu and Ryoshu to get here. But before we get down to business, allow me to make a few corrections. One, I am no longer bound to an organization like the Eurodivvy. In fact, I found their hypocrisy detestable. Did you know that even the Eurodivvy did not use their hours equally amongst one another? That is why I have chosen action. 2, I am not killing time. You will not compare my crusade to something so hollow. I merely reap the dying hours, to share it amongst those who need it most. You may call me the Time Saint instead. What the hell are you talking about? Shut up and... All this is flying over your head, isn't it? You poor little thing, starved for even a morsel of praise. This is both a correction of your ignorance and our final warning. If you wish to capture me, us, then you must be prepared to pay the price in time. Was that an attempt at a threat? Do you seriously think you can scare me like that? Sure, you're the big, scary Time Ripper, but I've got you all figured out. I know your patterns. There's something staying your hand, isn't there? Whether it's your creed, some kind of a design flaw in your tech, you can't touch my time. How'd you like this Ace Detective's deductions, huh? Woohoo! Half right. But you've given me 2 more corrections to make. 1, I'm not the one killing time. It's you, and everyone like you who's killing time. 2, indeed, we cannot rip time away from just anyone, no. But I can take yours. Because you, at this very moment, are mired in tedium. What? Just biding the time, aren't you? Waiting for something to happen. Killing time. We are merely taking back the time that you would have killed anyway. Huh. Swing that axe and you might carve a small chunk of our flesh, but we will rip a chunk of your existence. You will stir awake when the clock strikes 4 in 50 years' time, having done nothing, having lived through nothing, all in the blink of an eye. That's when it shall dawn on you that despair. It'll all come rushing in like a flood, that disparity, the unfamiliarity of all the time you killed. Every pain a reminder of every single second you killed, thinking about how tedious it all is. You look scared. We like that look in your eyes. Rhodia stood there completely frozen. No one could stop the Time Ripper as he walked away from us. Not even me. Not me, not Rhodia. The culprit, where are they? I thought I could take them on, but when I came face to face with the Ripper, how could you give them the slip? They threatened her, that they were going to rip away her time. Oh no. And the Ripper knew. They knew how I felt, so... Never mind. It seemed to me that Rhodia decided to not say it out loud, but I knew that the word she wanted to say was tedious. Pathetic. Unlike you, Ryoshu, my time is important. I think you were going to say unimportant. I'm not here just to make those stupid, pointless observations about the case. I didn't volunteer out of some weird obligation either, okay? I volunteered because I genuinely wanted to solve the case. I'm not like you, either of you. I briefly grew concerned that Ryoshu might swing her scabbard at Rhodia, but I don't think she was listening anyway. How banal. Instead, she stared up at the clock tower in silence as her cigarette slowly burned its way to her lips. I guess that's a relief. Rhodia, Sorry, I think I'm just getting tired of wearing a silly smile. That's fair. It's fair. Well, you can be the sad clown now, Rhodia. Twisted time. We know that the Time Ripper is not a single individual, but is a group, rather. Maybe it's a group that has distorted. Rhodia was always the one to lift the team's mood when it was down, but the mood among us had grown so incredibly awkward and cold that I was almost starting to feel a chill in my fingers. I guess this is what happens when Rhodia is in a depressive mood. If we were back at the bus, or if Yi Sang or Gregor was here, they would have at least tried to do something to break the ice, but neither Liushu or Honglu were the kind of people to be heavily affected by such a frosty mood, so we just trudged on with our investigation. Huh. Looks like the culprit got him in the middle of something. He knew the Ripper. How could you tell? By looking at his eyes. Isn't it obvious? That look in his eyes. It's the kind of look that people have in their eyes when getting killed by a rat they know. He's not exactly dead, you know. This dead body looks kind of different from the last one we saw, though. Not a dead body either, but what is that? The culprit tore a bit of his scarf. Maybe they really disagreed with the fashion choice. You know what? Maybe the distortion is referring to themselves as a we because the chunks of time that they're taking out of other people to modify or manipulate their own abilities are also considered taking a part of the person that they're taking it from. That would be an interesting spin on it. The Eurodivier must live like fools in the eyes of others, so that we may see a path invisible to them. Rhodia? It's something Sonya once said, told me that the scarf was a yoke to hide the great ambition, that those with such dreams must remain bound. But I don't see you wearing that scarf. It's not my style. Then chopping the scarf in half would mean that the killer is a former member of the Eurodivier. We should go back to their hideout and ask around. Damn it, the Ripper got our boss. Are you asking if anyone quit recently? Well, it's not like they formally quit or anything, but there were some who went completely off the grid. Someone who wanted to steal the surplus time at T-Corp to share it equally among everyone. Yeah, I remember a lad who said something like that. When his younger brother died, he became a bit weird. Did anyone want to go along with that plan? I'm sure there were some, but we shouldn't. We're the Eurodivier. We must bide our time until the saint gives us the word. Is that so? Where is he? No idea. Last I heard he said something like, I'll always be watching you. Creepy, isn't it? But I suppose that means that he's still hanging about somewhere with T-Corp borders. Within T-Corp's borders. Huh. Our boss man's gonna be back to normal, right? He'll always be watching, huh? Clock. Yeah, the clock tower. Up there. That's where he is. I always burn a cig after a kill. But you're always smoking, because it takes about 4 minutes for the cig to burn all the way through. I get to watch as the light of life slowly burns out in their dying eyes. It really enhances the flavor. 4 minutes. I know that it takes exactly 4 minutes for the cigarette to burn away, but only 2 minutes have passed on that clock tower. That doesn't make sense. How come no one noticed that the clock tower was broken? This isn't a new development, by the way. From the moment our little game of detective started to this precise moment, the clock tower always measured only 2 minutes by the time I finished smoking. Didn't someone say that it's because people have learned to be helpless? I've been waiting for something to get finished for a while. Do you know how much of a pain it is to wait for something but also have too much time in your day? It's so tedious. Methinks it's a real bother standing guard here, all this stop and search. So tedious. Hey, assistant. What were the first 2 victims doing when the Ripper struck? Let's see. One of them was attacked while purchasing a 13-flavored lollipop candy. The other was reading a comic book, staring at T-Corp Inventor as its protagonist. Starring a T-Corp Inventor as its protagonist. I'd say it's a pretty fun read. Are there a lot of clock towers in T-Corp? A total of 12 in the entirety of T-Corp, but just 1 in this general area. The Time Ripper struck only near this clock tower, didn't they? Right on, detective. What if they slowed down the clock tower and made everyone in the area feel that sense of extreme tedium? Tedium, I see. So that's what it was. He can rip time only from people who are bored. The clock tower. It should give me a nice view to blow smoke at. Oh, here's something I forgot to mention. You know that you need actual evidence to make an arrest, right, detectives? Huh? You have to catch them in the act. Can't go around arresting people just because you feel like it, What? Do we have to let them attack us or something? Just so that we can catch them in the act? Don't you know? He can literally rip time out of you. One small mistake and you might wake up weeks, months, or even years later. We don't even know if that's the kind of thing that Dante can rewind. Yes, it's all very tragic, but it's still part of your responsibilities. Do you even care about catching the culprit? Or is it learning how he rips time all you care about? Right on again, ace detective. I once thought that there were no inventions in T-Corp that I didn't know their ins and outs about. You see, I have the intricate knowledge of the mechanisms of every single machinery in existence within T-Corp. I even know about the bizarre contraption your friend back at the jail cell invented while he was here. I didn't want that invention to be beholden to the T-Corp parent patents agency, no. I wanted to watch as it spread throughout the city, which is why I didn't try very hard to stop him as he escaped through the back streets. It wasn't because I was lazy, mind. So, to answer your question, no. Like the case of the League of Nine literatures, I don't care whether we catch the culprit or not. I'm just curious about the exact mechanism behind how he rips time. It's the nature of being an inventor. Agreed. How am I supposed to even get anything done with people like... Excuse me, Mr. Assistant? I have something I'd like to ask you. Back when Rousseau stood on the temporal scale gallows, didn't the machine beep very loudly? Oh, that reticent friend. Yes, it did. If you have the intricate knowledge of the mechanisms of every single machinery in existence within T-Corp, then do you also know why it malfunctioned? Of course. Why wasn't the gallows able to take 10 billion on worth of time from Rousseau? Was it really because it was broken? What are you talking about? It's statistically impossible for the machines of my design to have any faults, usually. Then the source of that error must be Rousseau, or all of us, right? Not the machine. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not only looking the part, but you're also acting the part of an ace detective. You could have fooled me. All credits go to Lady Agatha. She did say that one of the qualities of an ace detective is the mind of a bottomless inquisitiveness, after all. I thought the condition of getting exempt from our time tax was that we had to catch the culprit. That was what I was thinking when Class 5 Auditor began speaking again, as if to address my concerns. I'm not saying I won't cooperate, of course. I may have even devised a plan for you, although it may be somewhat simple. Now listen close. Oh wait, shit. Did I just have access to all of the characters? It looked like I had access to all of my characters, and if I did, I'm not going to run this group. Running three people here, if I can run 6, would be a silly prospect. Yes, I can play all of them, and these guys are not required, so I can run my standard crew. So, will this really work? I guess it's barely a plan, and more like something we came up with in the last 10 minutes, but still. Annoying. Shh, let's hide. Hiya! I've been waiting for you. Did he just say hiya to the Ripper? How interesting. Not only did you know that I'd be coming here, but you also had the manner to extend your greetings. I see you've been tailing us this whole time. Of course. You were right under our noses all this time, weren't you? You're one of those fools playing pretend as a detective, aren't you? Killing time. You're right. Say, can you teach me how to make the most of my time? Give us your time and we might tell you. What, 30 hours? What is this, a bloody joke? That ain't enough. Just think about all those hours we've lost fleeing from these sods. We could have spent that time ripping more hours from others. I say that it's only fair that we take 300 hours from him. Agreed. He's one of the Nest's lackeys, working with those filthy watch chains of T-Corp. He deserves it. If we let him go, he'll only bring further trouble. Let's show them what happens to those that oppose us. Seconded. Let's try to extract the exact number of hours that evenly splits into 12 pieces. Sod it, let's stab as deep as we can go. We don't want to repeat the fat cat at the factory, do we? We're aiming straight for the center. We're not letting this bastard slip away with just a gash of 100 hours. Silence. I will decide the time. We will stab as deep as we can and rip 1,000 hours from him. That should be more than enough time for us to all happily share. Well, I suppose we'll be losing our sense of taste for the next 1,000 hours if we divide the burden of 1,000 hours equally amongst another. Yeah, I can roll with that. Huh, it's almost like there are multiple personalities in there. Yeah, Dante, excellent deduction. Weren't you there when they talked about this? The culprit wasn't the only one who suddenly began to behave strangely. Hong Lu did too. His face relaxed into a tranquil look, as though he was ready to let something go, or perhaps that was an expression of liberation. 1,000 hours. Will 1,000 hours have passed in the blink of an eye? Yes, and there will be no pain, only the despair that awaits you upon awakening. Then I like that. Rip my time away. He didn't mean that, did he? A time-tearing razor, is it? So that is the core of the power that extracts time. Though it was no invention at all, but a distortion. My, this is still highly fascinating. So this is the kind of power that a distortion can grant? Powers that only one could have dreamt of. After a lengthy silence, as though the world itself had come to a grinding halt, he's not going to be able to rip Hong Lu's time, because Hong Lu's not bored. Hong Lu loves life. That's like the one thing about him. Why can't we rip away your time? Hong Lu's so excited, and like the most mundane thing that could possibly exist, Hong Lu is like hyped. I see. Everything went according to plan. It's all so same. I blinked, but the world is just as familiar and changeless as ever. What? We've walked right into a trap, you daft idiots. Don't you understand? Detectives. AOTS. That's a relief. Had me worried for a moment there. About 30 minutes ago. Though we're doing the flashback, you guys are going to explain the plan to me now. Like I said earlier, the temporal scale gallows isn't broken. The error was caused by you. Your time, and this applies to all 12 of you, was already bound to someone else's time. Someone else's time? Me? This caused a multi-reference error in the temporal scale gallows, which was supposed to hang your time. So what you're saying is, because we are living within Dante's time, the gallows couldn't hang our time? I had no idea. Well, if all that is news to us, then there really is no way for the Time Ripper to know that either. So once the Time Ripper arrives and tries to rip my time away from me, that's when Rodion Ryoshu can swoop in there, like the awesome people you are, and arrest the culprit. And that's how the trap came to be. But what if, and really, what if the Time Ripper manages to rip Hong Lu's time away? Don't worry, Dante. It's all going to be okay. I wonder how long the racket would last once the news of a malfunctioning clock tower breaks. Wouldn't it be so entertaining to watch as people's trust in the institution of the supposedly unerring clock tower crumbles? It's going to be such a fun show. I'll try my best not to malfunction. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Hey, participation trophy. I used to really hate the sound of clocks. I don't know when it started, but I started associating its noise with the perpetual cycle of pain, like it's some premonition that a clock hand-shaped blade will one day cleave clean through me, a blade of time, if you will. But your noise? It's a bit different. It's the kind of noise that makes me dream up something new, something different, and it's not pain. Well, that's why I wanted to extend my gratitude. Not sure what he's extending his gratitude for, but can someone ask him to do this something for me? Dante has a request. Right, request away. I think I've had enough experience to intuit when a big fight's about to break out, and I'm getting the exact feeling that something's about to happen. So, it's time for you to return the other sinners to us. I can't believe they actually kept us in prison the whole time, only to let us out right before they caught that culprit. So how was it, Manager, adventuring with the 3 sinners? Was it nice? I trust that you've learned your lesson and that my absence was deeply felt. I'm aching all over just from sitting inside that jail cell. I don't ever want to go back in a place like that. Right, so this is the... So, is that a sword, the time ripper or something? A distortion we must defeat. Yeah, let's gun him down. Slice him into bits. Pulverize him. Crush his balls into a fine paste. Get your hair coupons. Extract them from his multiple personality. Run him over. Demons, get him. Take a straight razor and slowly rub the straight razor over top of his shoes. That's some fucking index shit right there. So turn one. He's looking like he took some serious damage. It's turn one, we got about 30% of his HP. See, we've got a purple here. And we can do that. And that. And then this is a one-sided attack. We'll swap over to there. Okay. And I think we... Oh, I guess the purple synergy? Or what did she must have done it at the end or something. Maybe I wasn't paying attention and she popped off with what's that ability called? Time to unpack while I wasn't paying attention. It's possible. Run him over with a bus full of limbs. Vroom vroom. Or whatever. Oh, we staggered him, so we couldn't do all the counters that we had planned out. Is he stagger plus now? This guy's a chump. I don't know how anybody let you rip the time out of them. It's the only way that it could have possibly happened if somebody said, like, rip me daddy, and just let you do it. This guy is definitely cooked. I like the music. It's got this weird backdrop of jazz in it that's pretty fun. Got him! Have you ever wept in such a deep longing? Have you ever wept in such deep longing for that extra minute, that extra second you let slip through your fingers, where you wished that your heart would forever sleep, for its every beat was but a painful reminder of the merciless march of time? I don't suppose you have, because you all have plenty of time to spare. With that, the Time Ripper slips into the shimmering portal. A mirror dungeon of the Fathoms. It appears to be the same kind as the one we have seen before. Hey, Dante, I've got a question. It just occurred to me for the first time. Where do all the time that you use, where do they come from? Well, I never gave thought to where the time I rewind comes from. All I knew was that when I turned the clock, I rewound the time. WC, yeah, who cares, I guess. I wish I could answer her, but it's not like I know how any of this works. Ryoshu quickly shuts us down with her brief summary of the circumstances. We did not question it further. A mirror dungeon of the Fathoms. Let's go. Quick adventure, in and out, mirror dungeon. We absolutely obliterated that guy. Now we gotta go obliterate him again. So, this is the culprit's Fathoms. 21 minutes. The time it took from the impact for you to hit the cobblestone. Isn't it about time you quit that Eurodivier thing, brother? We barely have enough time to scrape by. Wasting our time building unregistered inventions just to annoy some time collectors doesn't do anything. Come on, brother. Dream like you used to, please. You always wanted to work for the T-Corp Patents Agency, didn't you? We're just biding our time, waiting for the right moment, okay? And when that moment comes... But you don't even know when that moment is. What if that moment comes after we're dead? Why would any of that matter if we're not here to see it? Take the Grade 1 Inventor Certificate exam or something. Make a submission to the Inventions Expo. There's a pretty hefty cash prize for receiving the Inventor of the Year award, you know? Did you know that in other nests, everyone enjoys an equal 24 hours? Just imagine for a second. What if we saved up a ton of ton of money and moved to a different nest? Then maybe we'll get to live 24 hours a day too. I could get a full night's rest and I'd still have half the day to spend. Wouldn't that be so wonderful? I was always full of excuses. For all my hatred of the system, I remained inert with my ignorance as a convenient shield and excuse for my inaction. I knew that our lives would get better if I did get certified, but I always gave the same excuse. I don't have the time to take a test. Yeah, we saved so much movies. One early morning, my brother came to speak to me. I misspoke. I'm cooked. It's Jover. Somebody take me out and tell me about the flowers. Or the rabbits, not the flowers. You look at the flowers, you tell me about the rabbits, and then you gun me down. I'll lend you all but 2 hours of my time. That'll give you more than enough time to complete the exam. It ends around 2 p.m., right? I'll meet you in front of the clock tower then. You can give me back the time you borrowed there. Thus, I was given a single day of abundance. The sun still hadn't set when I finished the exam. I had a good feeling about all this, too. Maybe I could start dreaming again, just like in that old comic book I used to read. A dream of becoming a professional inventor of all things. Misspoke, career ended. I think the stealing your colors is a happy accident. But yeah, this district is the fucking worst. Straight up, like, this would be, of all the districts to live in, this would probably be the district I would not want to live in. Like, unequivocally, I think this is the worst. This is the worst district. Please correct me if you think I'm wrong, or tell me what you think the worst district to live in would be. Maybe I could start dreaming again, becoming a professional inventor of all things. The car rolls in slowly. It's so slow that anyone could simply step out of its way. The driver is like us, someone who lives 10 hours a day. But my brother can't get out of his way because he doesn't have enough time. Hours already precariously stretched over a day, stretched even further. So you are slowly, so slowly thrown into the air. I run as fast as I can with the time that's given to me, but I fail to reach him. I never could. Nothing changed, no matter how much time I shared. Because my life was spent in a rush, because its entirety slipped through my fingers in the blink of an eye. I wandered aimlessly near the street where my brother drew his last breath. If only I could taste every flavor of this lollipop sooner. Man, I can't wait to read what happens next. Won't somebody knock me out and wake me up when the next volume's out? The city. I can't wait for them to finally complete my portrait. I hope they captured the little upward flick at the tip of my mustache. It's supposed to look like a bird's wings, yes. It's so tedious, waiting for it to be finished. Still 3 in the afternoon. This is one long shift. When'll this tedious busy work end? Has too many people who so indifferently kill time. Our time will come. Just like the saint said. I know it's tedious, but everyone feels the same way. Stop pestering me about it, yeah? You think I'm happy with this small time stuff? I'm just as tired as you are of punching those bloody collectors and running away. I was ignorant. I lacked the time. If only I had the time they killed, if only my brother had the time they killed, he would still be alive. Yes, my brother was right. Can't wait for the moment that won't come. Now is the time for action. I'll find everyone so content with killing their time, and though a clock may look as though it turns evenly on the outside, the cogs that make up the clockwork within each turn at disparate rates, some living 44-hour days, some living 4-hour days. We are not like the Eurodivier. We know that we must take action. So that's what you've turned yourself into? Within me is a place where all may live in equal hours, our nest, a place for all who have felt the very same pain. Your explanations fail to justify your time killing. Yet I am not the time killer. It is the people of the city who have been slaughtering time. No one even took a moment to doubt that the clock tower may have been broken. Instead, they stopped at merely complaining that it was a slow day and that they should just pass the time. Killing time. I saved the dying times from their wasteful clutches. Will you still claim that I am in the wrong? Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. We enter the dungeon of the Fathoms. It resembles a T-Corp street. Past the crowds of busy passers-by, we notice the glowing vending machines nearby. With the streets completely devoid of color, the vending machine's light seems to resonate much more vibrantly with our hearts. Looking around, the other passers-by don't seem to notice anything unusual. We see rows of buttons on the vending machine. What should we do? Keywordless ego gift, because I'm not a tremor team. Let's see, we've got pretty much any direction we go, it's going to be basically the same thing. Oof. Yikes. Ah, coffee. Check this out, kiddo. Curb stomp some random bozo. We're coupon maxing this run. Jesus Christ. You find yourself at a random T-Corp street. A collection staff is collecting taxes from citizens. Will you be making your payments in time or in cash? Like I said, we're already paid our time taxes in full. Besides 300 million on? That's absurd. The records state that you have accrued additional time tax responsibilities due to the donation gift tax. No way. Is this because I gave away my time to those kids in the back streets? I only gave them 300 hours. So how the hell does that suddenly snowball into a 300 million on in taxes? That doesn't make any sense. Tax calculations in T-Corp are always exceptionally accurate. The time collector strides towards the citizen to neutralize them. Stop them. Gun them down. Ryoshu, you got this. Simply win. Ryoshu claims that there is something wrong with their calculation. Looks like you're not carrying a timepiece. Not only that, you are also disturbing the peace of our good citizenry. I will have to collect your taxes. No, my taxes. Oh, those guys look cool. I like that armor. Is that a chainsaw that is like attached to... He's got way too many weapons. What the hell, dude? It's got that like cool clock, like stitched leather over mechanical bits clockwork thing to it, although the mask is throwing me off. I do like the armor. It looks like they took the armor that was in the other spot and on the other guys, the time collectors have like the gauntlets that are like the shoulder gauntlets. I like how those have the pauldrons, instead of resting on the shoulders, run up along the bicep area, or the deltoid area rather. I think that looks cool, but it's like they took that kind of design, that like plated clockwork looking design, and made a suit of armor out of it. I like it, except for the helmet. What else would you witness us with, Bina? You have proven yourself. I will witness you with my eyes. You see a victim of the Time Ripper. You can't even touch them thanks to the spatio-temporal displacement superposition phenomenon. Is there anything you can do here to help? Try to help. Sure. Your special eyes? Your eyes that are not unlike your eyes, yet not your eyes. They can't move and you can't physically touch them, but you find a suspicious-looking receipt from under the victim's foot. This might be a clue. Ego gift, prepaid time receipt. In mirror dungeons, I oftentimes will do the question mark things, the question mark nodes, as many of them as possible so that I can skip forward and not have to do all of the fights. But it seems like this this dungeon is mapped out in such a way that the only path forward is to the only pathway forward is evenly balanced. Whether you go left or right, it doesn't matter. You're doing basically the exact same sequence of things. At least I haven't been able to see a real difference in the two. My hair coupons! 352.
이 정도면 지켜볼 가치가 있겠지.
A rich-looking youth, despite his apparent time affluence, is walking at a brisk pace towards the streets, and a poor-looking old man, despite his apparent time poverty, is slowly walking into an alley with a leisurely look on his face. Who do you follow? Follow the youth. Take it away, Don Quixote. The youth keeps glancing at his watch, clearly impatient about even waiting for Don Quixote's question to finish. He keeps pacing from one location to another. I have to work so fast, I can make more time. That factory owner there, I'm sure he's got 10 more hours in his life than I do. Don Quixote leans in and asks the youth, "What are you doing? What are you going to use all that time for?" The youth hurriedly runs into the building. We never did find out what he really wanted to do with all that time. Looks like he dropped something in his hurry, but he's already too far gone to give it back. Rusted clock hands obtained. Write them all down. I like the vibe of this attack. The title, like the name of it, is so cool. And I was just about to complain that like half of the time I feel like he doesn't really do that much damage though, compared to the other members that I have. But then he just did 100 damage on his first attack, so it's like, all right, never mind. He does a decent amount of damage. He's not Mama Otis and he's not Heathcliff. But you know, Ricardo Cliff.
자신의 색이 너무 옅어지지 않도록 조심하렴.
All of them, with the exception of Merceau, seem to do pretty solid damage. But not bringing Merceau, I feel like, would be a silly choice whenever it's all about getting that 6 envy synergy to upgrade all of the attacks to their best attacks.
준비한 힘이 되는 게 다행이다.
353 damage.
자원이 폭주하는 것을
My coupons!
배고의 잠재력에 대해서만큼은 감탄을 금치 못하겠구나.
Complete and total extermination, of course.
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠고 쳐다보기만.
This guy, I was gonna say, he looks like a mini boss, but he's getting his ass beat. Yep, that's a stagger. I really followed up immediately afterwards with my hair coupons.
주인의 형상인데 제법 노력한 듯 보이는구나.
Lovely, lovely. You've proven yourself. I shall witness you with my
지켜볼 가치가
eyes.
있겠지.
We come upon a familiar rest stop. The glass door is locked, with a notice attached to it. We are closed today due to personal reasons. We apologize for the inconvenience. However, our fusion device is available for use. Customers requiring fusion service are kindly asked to use the device beside the entrance. What should you do? The case and the etched clock hands. Oh, I don't have any of that shit. There's nothing to do. Get wrecked. Nothing happened. Doesn't matter. We're still gonna gun this bozo down. He's dead anyway.
선물을 받았구나. 자신의 색이 너무 옅어지지 않도록 조심하렴.
Time to unpack. Beat him off.
그새 능숙히 다루게 되었구나. 취약한 마음과 자아의 누군가가 만든 자아의 껍데기 속에 의존하고 숨고 싶은 법이라지만 그럼에도 재밌는 구경이었다.
That's one-sided, and these are all 7s. Goddamn. They're all targeting Heathcliff. Well, we've got an 8 over here, so we can intercept one of those that's targeting Heathcliff, and we'll turn it into a defense, because you do have your Dante special. That's true. That's true, but I do kind of want to see if I can get through this without using it. That one's targeting Merceau, but we can target this here instead. That way Merceau's attack is not triggered, because his attack is on the weaker side. It's not as important. We get the, if we do a full synergy, if we get a 6-point synergy, not only do we trigger Stamp of Vengeance, but we also get the benefit of the shield on the attack that we're going to take. So we do eat the attack, but we get a shield for it. Bloody hell, is this really getting, this is really getting on my nerves, Zoe. Quit hiding us, yeah? Give us a proper view. Damn it, I hoped that I wouldn't have to show them my true form. Oh, he's gonna show us his true form. He's gonna stop hiding his power level. Though we couldn't be sure if there were multiple personalities in the Ripper's head or if it was truly the voice of the many, we did hear several voices of varying pitches echoing from all corners of the room. The Time Ripper, cornered, grabs the lapels of his long coat and... Are those brains? Your brains in a jar. 15 brains in a jar in a trench coat. Literally in a trench coat. They've all got health bars. That's cute. I can't see anything. Let me out. And this is don't let something like this. So we're gonna use something else. Because if we have the opportunity to land a Stamp of Vengeance, why wouldn't we? Oh, is she about to unpack? She's unpacking. We'll see if this guy lives long enough to let us put out Levitine. Irritating little tricks. Remember what you said earlier. Might be the time to put that to use. But I'm sorry, doesn't that usually use too much time? It drains too much time from all of us. Shush, my friends. Letting this drag on for any longer will cost us more in the long term. This attack will surely eliminate them. Think of how much time we will save by taking care of them here and now. We shall share this burden of time together. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Unclashable. This unit speed is fixed at 24. Cannot be staggered this turn. On use. Takes a total of 400 shared time from everyone, then consumes it. Erase the target's time. Once this unit erases the target's time, all parts recover shared time to their max values and gain 10 haste and 10 attack. Huh. This can halve the speed of enemies, bringing them to 8, but that's not going to help in this case. This is unclashable, but it says that it's going to erase the target's time, which I'm guessing just deletes them. Interesting. Heathcliff has complete and total extermination, but this is not a clashable thing. So I wonder if I use defense, it's not clashable. I will be able to defend against it, but it doesn't say it's doing a certain amount of damage. It says it's just zeroing out his time. So I think it's just going to kill him. Boop. No, this doesn't make sense. That had to work. More tricks, is it? Wait up, you took 5 hours from me earlier. What's up with you taking another 3 hours from me? You only took 2 from that side. We will settle that as soon as we deal with this present threat. Focus on the battle for now. Deal with this present threat when? In 3 hours? 4? This fight's been going on for too bloody long. I understand that's why we must all sacrifice our collective time to... Nope, I ain't giving you no more than an hour of my life. Take more from the rest. I got the short end of the stick last time when the numbers didn't evenly divide by 12. Shut up about the last time. You're just an uneducated fool who doesn't even understand basic additions and subtractions. Boy, what the hell was that? Who said that? It's the new one, isn't it? They're starting to fight each other. I get it. You're saying that now's our chance, right? Now's our chance. Gun them down. Yeah, their ability didn't work on Heathcliff, so that tracks. Complete and total extermination. Kerblowy. I hope we could just blow past their evades. Oof, that one's gone below the stagger threshold. I think that brain's dead. Stamp of Vengeance. Oh, are we levitating? We might be able to levitate next turn. We like never get to whip it out. The fights always end so fast. No, she's still at 1, which means we could levitate next turn if we manage to get out this attack here. This is a defense. We should be able to survive that. No problem. No, that's not. Oops. Oh, he just did an AoE and accidentally triggered Don Quixote's attack. Oh, he's dead. Cool. Yeah, I didn't even need to use the Dante special ability. I think there was only one point. I mean, like, I couldn't technically clash with him there, but, like, if I defend and he hits me when it's unclashable, we're going to do the ultimate attack anyway and have our shield up and running from it. So if I only had 10 more minutes, no, a minute, a few more seconds even, I could have changed so much more if I only had the time, or so I thought once upon a time. So what did you do? Did you even try to change anything? Believe it or not, I am the creator of every change you see around you. I know. What the burning question is, what changes, right? Because at the end of the day, this place became no different from the other horrible, horrible nests. There's so much pain here, just like any other place in the city. So listen up and listen close, because there's only one way to truly be free from suffering. Stopping time. Stop time? Our assistant's expression turned bitter. He did not elaborate. Well, it's not like he could understand me, and the sinners were too busy keeping their eyes on the Time Ripper to relay my question. Like always, the LCA's Special Operations Unit arrived and discussed a few things with the employee, labeled the Time Ripper a distortion with a complicated classification code, and that's how the case of time-killing time closed. But, I'm so sorry, or I'm so happy that you finally caught the perpetrator. Aha, behold, my portrait is finally complete. Isn't it so wonderful? So slow, everyone. Let's stop being lazy and get to work, yes? Chop, chop. What our assistant said much earlier was right. T-Corp did not change, not even a little. Why did you volunteer to be bait for the Ripper, Honglu? I'll be honest, I was scared as hell. The moment I began thinking about how my own time could just get ripped away from me, Merceau has the biggest chest in the city. Merceau's a certified nerd hottie. How are you doing today, Fatal? I just wanted to understand, because to me, the world was full of things I couldn't understand. In truth, I still understand so little of it. Why do people hang on so desperately to something like time? Something so ephemeral? Yeah, but I know one thing. You understood the culprit, Rhodia. It wasn't just a fear that held you back. While there was fear, a different side of you felt like you could understand him. That's what stayed your hand. How did you know that? Watching you, Rhodia, reminded me why I did not resist when my siblings tried to kill me for the first time. I wasn't just scared. I felt as though I could understand them. When fear grows so extreme that it circles back to its origin, that moment is so precious and so beautiful. All right, lads and lasses, gather round. Why are there limbs on the bus? It's a running joke now, I guess. I was implying that it's a limbo bus where all the it doesn't matter. Yes, there are limbs on the bus and an abundance of limbs. Where you could argue that we're in the abundance age, and only in so that we have an unlimited number of limbs to throw at any given problem. All right, lads and lasses, gather round. Ho ho! We'll be running a special feature on the people who played the biggest role in solving the case of the time-killing time, and for that, we'd like to get a little group photo. Would that be all right with you, ace detectives? What an auspicious day this is! What's up with the long face, Rhodia? Everything okay? I don't know if I even deserve to be in the picture. I didn't really get anything done out there, did I? Not really, Rhodia, no. You were of almost no help at all. But Rhodia, we eventually captured the culprit, didn't we? It was possible only because we all worked together. I'd say everyone did a great job out there, Rhodia. Honglu, Ryoshu, all three of you. Good work. You mean Honglu and Ryoshu? I just cowered as soon as I came face to face with the culprit. I was ridiculous. Well, it is said that all great detectives are flanked by great assistants. Ha, that's funny. Is that what this Lady Agatha said? No, I said it just now. I'm the only one who's allowed to make that LF. Smile, detective. Ha ha. Right, can we huddle a little closer together? What right did I have to stop those struggling to change things, no matter how small, when I haven't done anything? It seemed that I was the only one who heard her whispering. Right then. 1, 2. Hold! Don Quixote trying to get in the picture. Click. Chief Executive Director, it's time. Ah, Mai, thank you for letting me borrow your clothes. I made sure not to get even a speck of dust on it, so don't you worry about having to run it through the washer. Chief Executive Director, when did he... It's been so long since I had a day this exciting. Thanks, Participation Trophy. I just like to experience how it's like outside the company building from time to time, you know? Shouldn't he be thanking us for solving the case, not, you know... let's see. Considering your rather competent command on the battlefield and that special ability of yours, maybe you could even snag the exceptional award. Actually, no. Perhaps you receive the distinctive award instead, since you can't explain the mechanism of your own powers. Your clock does seem quite special, but the time that flows through you doesn't seem very different from the concept of time I'm used to. Well, I don't have any prize money to hand out, but allow me to impart a little tip instead. Remember, using the power of time comes with a cost. Always. It's something that's been a thorn in my side as well. Oh, and another thing I should thank you for. My dream began to flow once again. On the day I ventured out to the edge and wished upon a star, I thought my dream to have ceased there, never to flow again. I would have wished for something completely different had I had the chance to wish again, but I believe my only chance spent. A star. I don't understand why, but a mere mention of it suddenly brought back the memories of the star I saw when we made the pact with the sinners. I mean, I'm starting to see a pattern here with the wishing on the star giving birth to something like great and terrible. Seems to be interesting. I used to think that the star could never be linked again, that I could never turn back time. Vile men like myself know when their dreams come to an end, but there is no path left for the dream to go to. What the fuck did he just say? There was no... Vile men like myself know when their dreams come to an end, when there is no path left for the dream to go. But I was wrong. There it was. Something rewinding time right before my eyes in a way that I could not fathom. Well, it is my current hypothesis that you're not actually rewinding time, but a potential is still a potential still. And that distortion that rips time is another proof that I do not know all there is to know about time. Not yet. So my dream, once still as a lake, has become wild as a rushing river once again. Your indifferent, unafraid attitude towards time. It also left me an impression. I think day after day about how uncaring the nature of time is, that it will continue to drift on and on and on, even after my death. And I think about how that's so terrifying. I'm afraid of death, yes, but I'm not interested in researching immortality. The flow of time is equivalent to constant change. Those who dare tread upon the road of illusion from death and annihilation shall soon find themselves before another wall of what they had sought to flee from in the first place. What must one do to stem the change when the nature of perpetual change itself is tied to an immutable thing like the flow of time? One must stop time itself, of course. Yes, indeed. Therein lies the conundrum. Until time itself ceases to move, all change eventually becomes a great flow. I'm having trouble following your train of thought. Let him cook. How you doing, Lord Starlight? Yeah, he do be yapping, but I enjoy the way that he's kind of like reawakening his own passion for, I guess he's the chief executive of the corp, so it's like reawakening his passion for something, and it's very odd to me learning that he is the chief executive when he's been with us this whole time, commenting on the events that are taking place within T Corp, seeing that shit is happening, like people are trying to subvert his the entirety of his rule, and he's like kind of chill with it. He's like bored with how the status quo is, which is interesting. So I don't know that we've necessarily seen a corp leader who has been so kind of indifferent to forces attempting to change it, and almost kind of like encouraging those forces to get in there. So seeing his train of thought is, I think, really interesting to me. Dante says that they're having trouble following your train of thought. Oh, apologies. I must have been thinking out loud. You must understand how someone might forget who they're talking to when their listener has nothing to say in response but intermittent ticks and talks. I suppose all that was probably too much for a manager of an upstart business to understand, yes? He is popping. He is popping off with the color, that's true. Does this conclude the business of the 10 billion odd time tax? You're all exempt. Can you imagine what would have happened if a case like this, for you to solve, didn't exist? Can you believe that you almost had to live the rest of your lives stretching a measly 4 hours over an entire day? Unbelievable. A little nap and you'd wake up a whole 2 days later. Well, that is, if the 4-hour daily minimum time policy even applied to you. Yes, that is difficult to believe, but I understand. Then... Oh, almost slipped my mind. Remember that purchase catalog Limbus Company handed me? That monolith in there really caught my eye. I'd like to purchase them, as many as you have in stock. Cheers! That's a scale made. That's a sale made. It was really pricey too. Who knows? Maybe this will get you that commendation or whatever it is. Understood. Your intent to purchase will be relayed. The monolith? What are you planning to do with? It's a secret. Things yet to be realized must remain shrouded in hearts until under this starless sky. Virgilius is tired of basically anybody who is interested and excited and maybe a bit overexcitable. Let's go, Mai. Yes, Director Herbert. This company is growing increasingly bizarre, Miss Faust. Not only are we providing distortion management services, but also dipping our feet into the sales of artifacts like the monolith. I don't believe that the monoliths should be so easily bought or sold. I see them as something we must retrieve, not put up for sale. You do understand the ramifications of selling artifacts that could force a distortion, I trust. The world is aplenty with technology capable of maiming or slaughtering a fellow human. Not all of those have started with the intent to do harm. In fact, most of them have begun as an altruistic project for the betterment of mankind. In other words, it depends. Do you really believe this to be a matter that you can just brush aside with? Virgilius, you know my place, yours as well. You are aware that we are not provided the luxury of choice. We will both reach what each of us desire. That is a guarantee. Fine. With that peculiar exchange between Faust and Virgilius, the bus sets off on another journey. Oh, you're framing it already? Ever since we returned to the bus, Rodeo was busily moving between the sinners, excitedly talking to them about whatever subject they were interested in. Quite, quite. Aha! Thus this achievement has been memorialized for all eternity to come. Ah, do you intend to put this up for display? In her hands was the article we were featured in. Don Quixote dedicated considerable time and effort to meticulously ironing out the creases, coating it with a thin film and displaying it carefully in a frame. We could barely tell it was her due to the blurring, but she appeared so happy to be part of the photograph. Much do I desire to hang it here for all to see, but this doth carry great meaning indeed, as my very first accomplishment. Thus shall I place it in my chamber for safekeeping. Boy, you really are stoked about a shaky picture of yourself, huh? Oh, don't be a buzzkill, darling. Chiquita's happy about it, and that's what matters, right? It matters not, for this is a signifier of our achievements. Yeah, our achievement. Rhodey was laughing and cheering along with her, as though nothing had happened. But it's never been so clear that this cheeriness was all an act, and I think that pained my heart. Yet I was powerless to do anything about it. The most I could do was clear the air and hopefully divert their attention to something else. Faust, can you ask Virgilius where we're headed next? Virgilius, Date asks, at least when we're talking about our next destination, the past seems to become a blur, even for a moment. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it like, I want to say like the industrial looms were a good invention. It was putting kids in them to pick out the knots and having the kids get fingers cut off and maimed. That was like, it's not necessarily the technology that fucks you up. It's like human nature shifting rules and systems around using a given technology that enables exploitation. But yeah, basically humans are the problem. It's kind of what it almost always boils down to. I don't think any technology is necessarily inherently evil. In the real world, obviously there's like a bus that eats people in this game and extracts the enkephalin from them, but that was the intent behind my question. Yes, I've come to realize that it is about time the manager asked me for some information regarding our next destination. Lucky I was right. The subject of our next destination was enough to divert the center's attention. They all fell silent in anticipation. Our next destination. Too bad I got more than I bargained for. Is to a warp train, Dante. I didn't just clear the air. That statement alone caused a whole storm among the sinners. Is it common knowledge now what happens inside the warp trains whenever you're like frozen in time? Because you're not like frozen in time, but you just exist for like a billion years. Because I knew that, like, obviously we know if we played library what happens in the warp trains, but like I wasn't sure if that was something that Limbus Company would know. And that is that intervallo. So next we have, oh, okay, it's another intervallo. We've got a mini 2 coming in, and then we've got a another intervallo coming in. Oh, okay, that's why Warp Train is struggling. Okay, the information got out. I think that was probably laid out to me, but this game is incredibly information dense, and sometimes I lose the plot, just because the series of events have been happening so rapidly for me. I mean, I started in January with Lobotomy Corporation, and I've just like been going through all of it in time, and it's a lot, but thank you for clarifying. Hi Firestar43. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, I'm cooked. I woke up at 11:30 p.m. Yeah, you heard that right. 11:30 p.m. last night. I'm super allergic to cats, and they were all up in my face. And yeah, I didn't really sleep last night, so I'm kind of cooked. It's 11. Basically, I've been up for 12 hours, and I'm sleepy and hungry, and I'm gonna go get something to eat. But I will be back tomorrow, and this week up until well, yeah, Thursday. I've gotta head out. I'm going to Osaka on Thursday. But I'm gonna take some time and chill out for the rest of the day. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you later. So I'll see you next time. We've got a Discord, Discord in the Discord, and do the Discord things. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night or day, wherever you happen to be in the world, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Toodles and stuff. Bye! Yes, she's gonna hydrate. Chill. And yeah, gay stream. It's every stream's a gay stream when I'm here. Bye.